All right, so lesson 13.1 is on graphing linear equations, okay? So you're gonna be given an equation, all right, where you're gonna have two variables, x and y, all right? And then we're going to have to just plug a couple numbers in for, either x or y, and that will give us what the value of our other variable is, okay? And then when we have kind of our ordered pairs, we're gonna use graph paper, right? And we're going to graph the line that each equation that we are given forms, okay? Now, just to stay consistent, okay, we're gonna plug in three numbers every single time, and we're gonna kind of make this table. So here would be my problem, y equals negative 2x plus 1. Now I'm gonna make this little xy table, okay? And I want you to plug three numbers in for x every time, and those three numbers are gonna be the same every time. We're gonna plug negative 2 in, we're gonna plug 0 in, and we're gonna plug positive 2 in. And each of these numbers that we plug in is gonna give us a different y value to this equation, okay? So here, y is already by itself. So whatever I get when I clean up this right side will be what y is. So we're gonna look at the first value of x that we're gonna plug in. So I have x here, so we're gonna say, hey, in this first example, all right, I'm gonna plug negative 2 in for x, all right? So here, I'm gonna have negative 2 times, right, negative 2 times x. We're gonna say x is negative 2 this first time, plus 1. All I'm doing is substituting negative 2 in for x, and that's gonna tell me what y equals. So negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4, and then positive 4 plus 1 is 5. So when x is negative 2, okay, y is 5. All right, so here I have an ordered pair, and this is gonna come back handy when we graph this on our graph paper, okay? So it's kind of like here I have an ordered pair, negative 2 comma 5, all right? Now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna start from scratch. We're just starting from our negative 2x plus 1. Now I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna plug 0 in for x. So if I plug 0 in for x, I have negative 2 times 0 plus 1. Negative 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. So when x is 0, y is 1. And there's that ordered pair. All right, and then we got to do it one more time, but we're going to plug positive 2 in for x now. So I have y equals negative 2 times positive 2 plus 1. Negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4 plus 1. Signs are different, so we subtract. 4 is farther from 0. 4 is negative, so it's a negative 3. So when x is positive 2, y is negative 3. Okay? And the reason we need to do this 3 times is because we need to make 3 points on our graph to kind of make our line. So I need to have enough points in order to really form our line. So what I'm going to do now is, so I'm still going to be able to see, all right? So here is my graph, right? So you're going to be given graph paper, and you're just going to need to, just make your graph, all right, your x and your y-axis, and now we just got to plot these 3 points, right? So our x-axis runs left and right, our y-axis runs up and down, okay? So where x is negative 2 and y is 5, that's where we need a graph. So always start at the origin. We always got to go left or right first, so it's negative 2, so I'm going to go 1, 2 to the left, and then it's positive 5, so I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oop, I lost my spot. And I'm going to put my point there. Now, 0, 1. So not moving left or right, and then up 1, and then 2, and then negative 3. Okay? And then that is the line that this equation makes. So y equals negative 2x plus 1 is my linear equation. It is a linear equation because it forms a line, and obviously we are working with an equation. So this line, all right, is this equation, y equals negative 2x plus 1, okay? So all we had to do is plug in our 3 points, right? And we're always going to use negative 2, 0, and 2 for our x, and then whatever we get after we do the math for our y will form our line, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing with this next problem. So the first thing that we're going to do is we got to make our xy table. So I have x, y, and like I said, we always are going to plug in the same 3 values for x every time, just so we can stay consistent and we're all on the same page. Negative 2, 0, and positive 2. All right, so once again, y is already by itself, so all I need to do is plug these three values separately in for x. So it's negative 1/3. Now we know this fraction, negative 1/3 and x are being multiplied. So if I have a fraction here, we want to multiply it by something that looks like a fraction on that side. So our first value that we need to plug in for x is negative 2. So we're going to make negative 2 over 1 our fraction. All right, and now I have a negative times a negative, which is a positive. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. So it's positive 2/3. So when x is negative 2, y is positive 2/3. Now we got to do the same thing with 0. Okay, so if I plug 0 in for x, negative 1/3 times 0 is 0. Okay, so if x is 0, right, and I have negative 1/3 times 0, that is 0. That means y is 0 in this case. Okay, now we need to do the same thing with 2. Negative 1/3 times 2, or 2 over 1. Well, a negative times a positive is a negative. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 2/3. Okay, now all we got to do is go to our graph. Where's my table? There we go. All right, so here's my 3 points, right? Our 3 ordered pairs that we need to graph. Okay, so once again, we always start at the origin. We're going to go 2 to the left, and now we're going to go up 2/3. So it's not quite a full box. So on these ones where you have kind of a fraction, it's okay just to kind of estimate and get kind of close. We know 2/3 is just a little bit more than a half. So after I go 2 to the left, I'm just going to go up a little bit more than a half and put my dot. Not quite on that next line because that would be 1, but it's pretty close to it. Okay. So like I said, on the fractions, just try to kind of get close to what that fraction represents. And now I have 0, 0, so that's just in the middle. And then I have 2, and then negative 2/3. So I'm going to go down, not quite a full one. All right. And then that is my line, my linear equation. That's my line for this equation. That's my line for this equation. Okay, so this is the line that is formed when I have y equals negative 1/3 x. Okay, all right, last example I'm going to show you. So on this equation, I do not have y by itself, so we need to first kind of solve and get y by itself. So in order to get y by itself, it's being added by 2x, so we need to just subtract 2x. On these other two, previously y was already by itself, so I didn't have to do this. So I need to subtract 2x and subtract 2x, right? Those are gone. I have y equals 3, and then just it's minus 2x. So that is my equation now. Okay, now I have y by itself. Now I can make my xy table. We're going to use negative 2, 0, and 2 for our x values. Now all we got to do is figure out our y values. Okay, so, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to sub negative 2 in for x. So it's 3 minus 2 times negative 2. Now we do want to treat this minus sign that like it's a part of this 2. So it's really kind of like negative 2 times negative 2, which is a positive 4. And then I'm going to bring down my 3. Okay? Because if I didn't, it would be 3. I'll just kind of show you the other way you could have saw that. Minus. So we already took care of the 3 and the minus. And then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So then we would have had that. And then 2 negatives back to back do make a positive. So as long as you kind of understand that that is a minus there, or you could treat it as like it's a negative 2. All right? But regardless, we should get kind of 3 plus 4 either way. So 3 plus 4 is 7. So when x is negative 2, y is 7. All right, now I need to do the same thing. Y equals 3 minus 2 times. We're going to plug 0 in for x. Okay? It's 3. So minus 2 times 0 is 0. And 3 minus 0 is 3. All right, so when x is 0, y is 3. And then our last one, we need to plug 2 in. So y equals 3 minus 2 times 2. 3, and then either way, you could treat this kind of like a negative 2 times 2, which is negative 4, or just bring down this minus. Now cover up the minus because you've already used it, right? We've used the 3 and the minus, and then 2 times 2 is 4. So regardless, you should get 3 minus 4. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So now we have our 3 ordered pairs that we're going to use. Now all we need to do is go to our, alright, so we're right here. Alright, go to our last graph. So negative 2, 7. So I'm going to go left 2, so you can see, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, and then I'm going to go 0, 3, 0, can't move left or right, up 1, 2, 3, and then 2, negative 1. Okay, and then we're just going to connect those dots to form our line. Alright. Alright, now the last type of problem that you might see, alright, is if, I want to make 2 different graphs here. Okay, if they said graph y equals 2. So they already kind of have it solved for you and there's no other value to put in for x. So if it's just y equals 2, all you need to do is, where is y2? So you would start in the origin, and y is the up and down, right? So if it's positive 2, I'm going to go up 2. So that means it's 2 everywhere, all these 2 values. So if it's y equals 2, it's really just a horizontal line at 2. It's covering across, all right, all the 2's. If it was like y equals negative 4, then you would just go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it would be a horizontal line down there. Okay? So there's really no like solving or xy table if y is already by itself, right? And there's no x value on the other side. Okay? Oh, I just can't see that. So this is y equals 2, because it's just up 2, horizontal line. Y equals negative 4, it's down 4, horizontal line. Now on the contrary, if it was just x equals 1, here's our x-axis, right? So we would start our origin again. Okay, if x equals 1, we would start at our origin, and where x is 1, it's right here. So where x is 1 on all the points, okay, now it's a vertical line where x is 1. If it was x equals negative 3, well, we would start at our origin, go 1, 2, 3, and then it's all those points. So it'd be a vertical line there, okay? So if it's like either of these two, okay, where x is all by itself and it's just giving you a value, right? You don't need your x or y charts on ones where it's just y equals a number or x equals a number. If it's y equals a number, it's just a horizontal line wherever that y value they give you is, and if it's x equals a number, it's just that vertical line where your x value that they give you is. All right, so remember you need 3 points every time with x, negative 2, 0, and 2, and then plug those separately into the equation each time and to get your y values, and then you just plot x comma y on your graph, okay? So on page 570, we're gonna do 5 through 12, okay? So you will need to solve it and get your table like this for all of those, and then you'll also need to graph your 3 points on your line.